Morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening, depending on where you are. My name is Trocon Williams, a student at Liberty University, pursuing my PhD in educational research. Today, I will be presenting on policy analysis, which is in fulfillment of the course Education 845. Policy analysis and recommendation, and this is addressed to the president of XYZ University. Policy problem. Some of the policy problems at XYZ University are as follows: declining enrollment from honor represented groups, over resilience, over reliance on standard test score, limited recruitment beyond traditional pipelines, and misalignment between diversity goals and outcomes. Evidence, these are some of the evidence that support policy change. Declining enrollment among low income and minority students. Test optional institutions report increased diversity. Holistic review identifies talent beyond standard schools, and contextual indicators better predict persistence. Policy alternative. Test optional admission policy are some of the alternatives. Excuse me. Targeted recruitment expansion and evaluation criteria, which are as follows: access and equity, academic quality, and legal feasibility. Now, let's look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of alternative test optional policy. Alternative test optional policy, advantage. Quick implementation is one of the advantages. Increase application diversity is the second, and lower financial barriers. Disadvantages to alternative test optional policy are as follows: it does not redefine merit, perception concerns, and it increases application volume. Alternative holistic review model. Let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of this alternative. It has the strongest equity impact. It is more accurate. It accurately identifies talent and aligns with institutional mission. Disadvantages: higher administrative costs and reviewer training required for this second alternative we just talked about. Let's look at the third alternative, which is the targeted recruitment. Advantages for this alternative: it expands application pools and it strengthens community partnership. Disadvantages: it has high ongoing costs, slower measurable outcomes, and does not change admission evaluations. Recommendation: it adopt, I think, looking at all of what we have discussed and look at in previous slides, this is my recommendation. It's better to adopt the holistic review admission model. And my reason for this recommendation, this alternative, is it has the strongest equity impact, it maintains academic standards, it better identifies student potential, and is supported by research. Now, when we look at this research from the biblical worldview perspective, we notice that the Bible in Genesis 1:27, talk about how God created all people in his image, which has to do with equality. Every human being is equal, and that's how in every institutions we should see it. James chapter 2 verse 1 tells us to avoid every favoritism. We should not have special students versus students who are not favorable to us. Every student in an institution should be treated equally. We should always pursue justice, and that is spelled out in the book of Micah 6:8. And lastly, we should recognize diverse gift. Everybody has a different gift, and it is to be respected at all time, regardless of the student's background or tradition or religion. I want to take this time to thank everybody for taking upon your time to listen and pay attention to my presentation. I am grateful, and I will take questions after I close. Thank you.